The first sign was the birds. One morning, they simply stopped singing. The usual cacophony of dawn was replaced by an eerie silence. At first, we thought it was just a strange occurrence, but as days passed, other animals started to disappear too. The streets of our small town became unnervingly quiet. Then came the fog. Thick, impenetrable, and cold, it rolled in from the forest and swallowed everything. Communications were cut off, and we were isolated. No phones, no internet, nothing. People started to panic, but there was nowhere to go. The fog surrounded us, trapping us in our own homes. One night, I heard something scratching at my door. I looked through the peephole, but saw only darkness. The next morning, my neighbor, Mrs. Henderson, was found dead on her porch, her face twisted in terror, eyes wide open and mouth agape as if she had seen something unspeakable. The deaths continued. Every night, someone else would be found dead, always with the same expression of horror. We tried to stay awake, to guard our homes, but the fog seemed to seep into our minds, making us drowsy, lulling us into a false sense of security. One night, as I fought to stay awake, I heard it again scratching, followed by a low, guttural growl. I armed myself with a kitchen knife and moved towards the door. The fog was so thick it was almost tangible, pressing against the windows, whispering to me. Suddenly, the scratching stopped. Silence. I opened the door slowly, knife raised, but there was nothing, just the fog. I turned back, ready to close the door, when I saw it. A shadow, lurking in the fog, staring at me with glowing red eyes. I slammed the door shut and backed away, heart pounding. The next morning, I woke up to find my sister, who lived with me, dead in her bed, the same expression of terror frozen on her face. Desperate, I searched the town for answers and found an old journal in the library. It spoke of an ancient creature that thrived on fear, using the fog to hunt. It entered our world through a rift in the forest, feeding off the terror it induced. I realized too late that the creature didn't need to physically harm us. It thrived on our fear, and the deaths were just a side effect. The real horror was knowing it was always there, watching, waiting, feeding off our terror. The final twist came when I discovered the journal's last entry. It was written by someone from our town, dated only a few months before the fog arrived. The creature wasn't just hunting us, it was one of us, transformed by the fog, spreading its terror to feed its insatiable hunger.